Hola, everybody. Welcome to the show. As Black Ops Zombies comes to an end with Revelations just being released, I thought it'd be good to look at the top 7 best zombies maps from Black Ops 3. The criteria are creativity, Easter egg, fear factor, replayability, difficulty, and overall impact to the audience. Coming in at number 6 is Zetsubu no Shima. Now, this map gets its name inspired from Shino no Numa, but is nothing like its similar counterpart. This map is the least played map in Black Ops 3, making up only 1% of the player total. It's probably one of the biggest letdowns in Black Ops 2 Zombies history. I think it's extremely creative with the storyline which it tells, and the overall theme of spiders and chemicals, and it really took a risk, but it didn't pay off as much as they hoped so. Its Easter egg is a bit disappointing, although it has a cool cutscene at the end which is upsetting with Takeo dying. Spoilers alert. It's still pretty boring, pretty long, and its boss fight's really not interesting. It is one of the creepiest maps in Black Ops 3, and I think that's highlighted by the eeriness of the swamp. And there's what the positives. These are all the negatives. It is not a replayable map. There's so much to do, but every part of it just seems so crap. There's no point in doing any of it. It doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel interesting. The map is a bit one-dimensional. Kind of looks the same. This kind of feeds in with the difficulty factor. Because it's so difficult, you can't just hop on and have fun with it. You have to go fully hardcore, mics on, 4 players. Otherwise, you're just significant. But it's really pretty much the same as all the other Black Ops 3 maps, with one of the characters dying. But it does show kind of the dynamic between the group, which is changing as they come closer and closer to the end. As a map, we do not see anything returned from this map because it was pretty wank.
As total, pretty wank.
Now, I've been playing Call of Duty Zombies since 2008. So, the Reese, it has a special place in my heart. Since it got made in World at War, then remade in Black Ops 1, and then remade again in Black Ops 3, pretty much, it comes to a certain point where I'm a little bit sick of it, but I still enjoy playing it. This is why I put it at my number 6 spot. The Giant is one of the least creative maps in Black Ops 3, simply because it's been made 3 times. Its Easter egg is pretty boring, but it's still different from its original one in World at War and different to Black Ops 1, so it kind of fits in well with the whole new storyline. It's one of the freakier maps in Black Ops 3, although I'm a little bit biased from the memories of playing this at 3 in the morning with the lights off and hearing a sudden thump while you're playing this. This freaks you out. I think it's the most replayable map in Call of Duty history. And this is evident by the amount of times it's been released and then the amount of people who still play it. It's one of the most upheld maps by the community. Its difficulty is reasonably high. Its difficulty is really spot on. I think if you're a casual player, you can hop on and play this map. If you're a legend, you can go to round 200 every go. You can still play this map. I think this is pretty much most because of the wonder weapon and traps. Because by the time you get to a high round, that wonder weapon is really not that good in quickly getting rid of zombies. But it still can get you out of a jam if you need it. Its impact, it's not too big under the whole storyline. I think it kind of just is an introduction to everything. It doesn't have much development or information on what happens apart from a beginning cutscene. But the map's impact on the Call of Duty history is legendary. This is why it comes in at the number 5 spot. It's one of the freakier maps, but the squids kind of take a bit of the edge off it. I think it's really replayable, and because it came out in November and I'm still playing today, and I still love it. It's not a very difficult map. I think that's mainly because of the wonder weapon and the training spots that are everywhere around the map. I think its impact as a whole, though, is really not much. I think it's part of the storyline. Nobody really got it until Revelations. But even then, it still really wasn't that necessary. For the third map, I put down the Eisendrache, or the Eisendrache, whatever. It's not the most creative of maps, I think. I feel I've seen it somewhere else before. I feel it's the same tone as all the other zombies maps, but one of its biggest highlights is Easter egg. I think it was one of the coolest ones, and it's so diverse with all the arrows and the different types of wonder weapons in the game, and it's impacted the whole with the whole Dempsey storyline. I thought that was amazing. It's not the scariest map, although there is a few parts of the map where it's a little bit eerie. It's really not that freaky. Its overall gameplay is amazing. I think this is probably the second or third most replayable map in the game. I think this is mostly due to the amount of stuff you have to do and how every part that you complete is so relevant to your actual gameplay experience. It's not too difficult, but it's not too easy. I think that's why a lot of other people still love the map. Its impact to the storyline is significant enough to keep me intrigued. However, its map as a whole, I don't think made much of a to the other maps. However, I think the feel of this map was carried out in the other maps, especially God Krobby. I think that's why I made that map my number 2. This is better than the Eisendrache for one reason. It just took everything that made the Eisendrache so great and then put a dragon in it. I think this map is one of the most creative maps I've seen. It really took a different angle with how it's wanted to set things out, from the character dialogue to the dragon and the robots, and we had a great Easter egg with a massive boss fight at the end. You have to defeat 2 bosses. Its fear factor, I think, is one of the scarier maps. It's all everything flying around. It's just overwhelming almost. Its replayability is great. I think it's one of the best maps in terms of gameplay in Black Ops 3 history. It's not the most difficult map. Probably that would go out to Nacht Remade. Obviously not the first one. That was really easy. And its impact as a whole, I think, is pretty decent, and it definitely carried us onto Revelations. And for the number 1 spot, I have Revelations. This is it. This is the finale of Black Ops Zombies. I put this on my number 1 spot, mostly for sentimental reasons, but it's still a great map. It's only been out for a few days, and I've already fallen in love with it. One of its biggest positives is its creativity. Even though it just uses different parts of the map, the storyline, and the external things going on, like the sky and the ginormous soul collector in the sky, and how the maps all work together is just amazing and flows so well. Its Easter egg, it hasn't been found yet, which is pretty stupid, but it must be pretty good when we do find it. The fear factor, I think, is really freaky, especially when we go back to Mob of the Dead. The nostalgia just creeps you out. I've been playing this thing non-stop, more than any other zombie map for the last 8 years, being honest. Maybe it's just because it's the end, but I still think it's the most replayable map I've ever played. Probably more than a Giant, but we'll have to see. It's definitely not the most difficult map. I think it's because it has 2 of the best wonder weapons in the game, the anally fisted squid and a thunder gun. Like, how can you beat that? It's still a very fun map to play. Its impact overall is outstanding because you can't really grade it. There's probably not going to be any other zombies maps after this, which is something to think about. And it just finishes the zombie storyline as a whole. So there you have it. They're my top 7 favorite zombies maps from Black Ops 3. See you later.